Coming at you live. Lincoln,
I said, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Cleary.
We are back. We are here. Happy Thursday, everybody. This is the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Fox got to do a little microphone switching around and all that.
That's right.
You back?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can.
This is your party. Go ahead.
Yeah. I always forget when I have another guest in studio, and I don't really like mic one. So if I start speaking on mic one, I throw it out of the way, and we all just have to wait a few more seconds. We are back and better than ever, is what I was going to say, because we are joined by the black shirt, Terrell Farley, sticking around for a segment here on the water cooler, and we've got some post-practice quotes to go through of Tony White.
Yeah.
Hey.
So that'll be kind of fun.
We thought we'd bring a guy who's pretty good at defense
knows
himself
a thing or
to
two.
talk about a defensive coordinator quote.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
make me blush.
You were-
today.
I mean, you were decent. Like you were
I was
all right.
I was okay.
Yeah. You were just okay.
Yeah.
So whatever, a black shirt or not.
Hey.
Nothing.
Watch your mouth, freak.
Nothing too
Watch
serious.
your mouth, freak.
But defensive coordinator Tony White spoke today after today's practice, and something that he mentioned. This comes from Sammy Kuhn of the Omaha World Herald on Twitter. Something that he mentioned, I really wanted to get your take on. From Tony White, he says, "Quote: When everything breaks down, you see a football player at his best. Hey, I might have done A to B wrong, but B to C, I'm going over here. I'm going to rec shop and make plays. So in that instance, and I know for you, you made a lot of plays. Was there ever an instance where there was a play call, something didn't go right, and you had to make sure that you were still getting to that position that you were supposed to be in, and you went and you made plays?"
Yeah, I mean, basically what he's saying that you could take it two ways. You can say when a player makes a mistake, he's going to make it 110 pursuit wise. But when you say that, you're more like saying if I have the A gap or the B gap and it's clogged up, and if I see that back bounces it out, that means I'm going to haul ass and try to get to that point where I can make that play. And Coach White is doing a great job of trying to figure out who's his best players are and who you got to put in the right spot to make those plays. And the thing about his defense is that it's going to be a lot of gap control. So you gotta be fast at reading, because this football is faster than what it used to be. The speed of the game, the counter plays and running plays, just a lot of different fast stuff. But I understand what he's saying. Like, if A and B, if I can't get to A and B, I better haul butt to get to C and D. So, I understand that philosophy he's saying. I
mean, that's something that, you heard with Bo Pelini when they were asking him about Levante David. And this is, I don't believe it was a knock at him, but he said, Levante was actually out of position a lot, but he made a lot of tackles because he's a football player and he found himself out of position, but he's still, A to B didn't go right, B to C. He finds himself getting into the right spot, making that tackle, wrapping up and taking care of things.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about when we played, we fooled a lot. So we would bring 7 guys in the box, and we would all look like we blitzing. But the thing was, we was able to disguise that defense like that because we knew which gap we had to get. So once the ball snaps, we're not going to be in the same position. We're going to be totally opposite where we need to. We're going to be where we need to be at, but it's going to be totally opposite for when we line up at.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's kind of funny when you hear about a guy like Levante and Terrell, you're probably in this case, but it's a very few amount of guys that can play out of position. Most guys, you're out of position because you see something, right? And so you're there to properly make the tackle, but it's, most of the times if you're out of position, you're costing your team. It's hurting.
At the end of the day, you still get an X or a minus when they grade you because you're out of position and you're not in the right place.
Yeah.
But you could be in the break. You could be in the film room with the team. Y'all, after games, the linebackers, they get together and they do film session. And you would look at that play and coach say, "Well, you got a minus on that." Well, I made the play. So what happened, coach? Why I don't get a plus? So, it's all about being in the right spot at the right time.
Well, yeah. And usually, I think with Levante too, it's like something, if you see something, that's why you're out of position. It's not, he doesn't know what he's doing. thinking. He actually is like on
He
the
thought he
fly.
saw something that
Yeah.
he could take advantage of, and
I
just
thought
had a position.
I thought I seen a booty cat.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Hey,
exactly what it was.
So it's all good. It's just it's great football knowledge. That's all it is.
Well, and I'd love to do the sunshine and rainbows thing too, but I think there's some. I think there's just a bit of reality that it was addressed today by Tony White too, saying that they're having to scale some things back in practice to focus on the details. If the players don't know where to be and what to do, they can't play fast. So I think you're still kind of in that install period, right? Which you have to expect when you're having a new defense. It's not just plug and play and get people going. But how long do you think that's going to take? I mean, do you expect this defense to get better as the year goes on? And you would expect that with any team, but specifically installing a new defense and the fact that you don't necessarily have the luxury of some some lower level school to start with. You're going with Minnesota and Colorado right away, but I still think that there's I think that's part of the reality. So when people want to just say drink the Husker Kool-Aid and say they're going to win this game, that game, and the next game, like I hope so. But the harsh reality is with most teams, when you're on install, you're not building off of that, until later into the season.
So here's my theory on that. I think the first thing you do is need to get spring done with, and you need to get guys that know what their positions are, who know what it's truly going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you give that guy that position. So see, right now you got guys who's in and out, who's trying different positions to see do it work. So once you get these guys settled, then they learn the defense more.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing I'm saying is, like me, you baby feed them a little bit. You give them a little bit at a time. So once you see this player, you run one defense and you see that they perfect it. And then you throw another one at them and keep throwing defenses at them. But you don't do it all at once, because you do it all at once, you confuse that player. And once a player's confused, then they take the wrong steps at the beginning of the play. See, right now, you don't want to throw so much at them, because every time they got to think, that it makes them hesitate, and they lose that one step. It only takes one step for you to be out of position. So you want to get them day by day. You want them see if they can progress and get better and better. And then as that, you throw more in at them. So you don't, that like you say, you can run so many defenses out of that 3-3-5 that you don't know what you're going to run.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to know the audibles. You got to know everything. You got to know what hole you want to go through. And plus, you got to know what the guys up front going to do first. So there's a lot of things that's going to go. But first, let's get ready. Let's get spring over with.
And some more tidbits coming out of that, and something that you were just talking about. You want to get guys into those positions and working on that. 1 second. So the Tony White said their linebackers, they don't have solidified roles yet. They're working in all three spots. So you've got guys working middle, left, right. They're all working in all of those different spots to try and find out who's best at what. You like that?
Yeah, I think so, because you got to get. See, here's the thing about me. Reimer's probably a outside linebacker, size-wise. So they're not big, old school linebackers like we had. Like John Hess, he's probably 6'3", 250. Jay Foreman, 6'2", 240, 235. These guys got like outside linebacker, more like bodies. So the thing is, you get MJ Sherman in there. You see if he can play middle. You get the guy from Florida. What's his name? Chief Borders, to see how he does, and then you mix it up. You have them rotate each group each day, and you try to find the best group of players to mash together. It's all about playing together, because there's no I in team though.
Yeah, you need that synergy and that consistency between people. And those two names that you mentioned, Chief Borders and MJ Sherman. Tony White says that a handful of guys have stood out on those two, including true freshman Princewell Uman-Mielen and Kai Wallen, the junior college guy.
Yeah, the only JUCO they took.
Yeah, and speaking of junior college, and this is something that a lot of people have wanted, and I think you mentioned it also, Iowa Western Community College, just right across the river, defending national junior college athletic national champions. The entire team was in attendance for today's practice, including their head coach.
That's good.
That's great. I mean, I think that's.
I mean,
That's a relationship
you
that
got-
you
you gotta-
haven't seen Nebraska
Yeah.
take advantage of lately. You know,
at all,
before,
at all.
yeah, before they were pretty. They're every once in a while, but that Iowa Western sends guys to a lot of different places, and they end up having some pretty good
D1
success.
guys, yeah, a lot of D1 guys.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's a relationship you really need to take advantage of.
I think that's great because you got to. Sometimes you got to go to JUCO to fill that void or fill that hole that you need, and it's not a bad thing. See, some JUCO guys only go just to get their playing. They playing up to par. Some don't have to go to JUCO for grades.
Mhm.
So you might have a guy that played 1 year JUCO and still had 3 years of eligibility left. You know, and that's a great thing if that guy can take a red shirt in junior college and still have 3 years. And the upside is that this junior college is right next door.
Mhm.
We should have been over there. We should have been knocking on their door instead of letting Iowa and the other schools go over there and pluck them out of their system.
Yeah, and Matt Rule's got, again, I think the connection to the Omaha high schools is something that needs to be kind of fixed, and we'll see how that goes. Certainly within the football team and the basketball program, hopefully in the next couple of months. But that's another relationship that a lot of people have said, over the time, like that's just, it seems like an obvious one that Nebraska hasn't tapped into. So hopefully they get that going.
But I tell you this, and we might want to learn from the University of Georgia because they did that a long time ago.
Mhm.
They ran away from the in-state talent. They went everywhere else to get everything. Now look at Georgia. They stay at home and they get the best of the best from that state, and it shows now. See, Nebraska needs that because we don't need to let these kids go to TCU. We don't need to let these kids go to Iowa or let Nick Saban or Deion step in our backyard.
Yeah.
These kids should be committed already. And that's my problem with not my problem with Nebraska, but sometimes it confuses me why we only have 2 commits right now and everybody else has 10, 12. We need to be on the ball early instead of trying to run it late.
Hey, it's 3 commits now.
Now, 3.
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
commits.
Pardon me.
Yeah,
there,
come on,
Bob.
get it right.
Pardon me.
Come on, man.
Also, update on guys that have switched positions here throughout the career. AJ Rollins now full time at defensive end. It was described as a baller by Tony White, so that's good news.
He played
Also,
defensive end for Creighton Prep, defensive end
Yeah.
and tight end.
Yeah.
And I know nobody's going to believe me, but I thought he was a better defensive end than a tight end in high school. But nobody's going to believe me. So it's
Rico's smarter than the previous coaching staff.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's
I
what he
just
just
thought
said,
I'm
didn't
not
you?
saying that. I just thought he was a better defensive end.
Well, I'm just saying.
Mostly because that was the same class that they had like 3 other tight ends coming in.
Yeah. Also, Tommy Hill, of course, has been playing full-time now at defensive back. Of course, he went back to wide receiver last year. He's among guys fighting for the battle. It's interesting the way that Tony White described it. He said there's about 3 to 5 guys that can cover, and there's no leading candidate for the guy opposite of Newsome. So it sounds like they're focusing on Quentin Newsome, which no surprise there. They took
That's
away
your number 1.
They took away his number 6, but
He'll get it back.
sounds like he's going to get it back because they already kind of have him circled in as the starter there. Maybe a little bit of a surprise to not put Malcolm Hartzog, who the previous staff obviously plugged in, played very well as another cornerback that we kind of figured might be a starter coming back. But they're going to give a look at several different guys, including Miles Farmer, who's traditionally been a safety, or I shouldn't say traditionally, so far has been a safety. Maybe give him a look at cornerback even.
My thought is, maybe they're thinking Malcolm Hartzog possibly in the slot more instead of outside going against the taller receivers. Plus Tommy Hill, who was the starter before Malcolm took that job from the previous staff. They said he's back with the defense full-time playing corner. So that could be something that, he's finally realizing that potential that people have talked about. And maybe he's finally snatched that job back, or is close to snatching that job back. But Malcolm Hartzog, like you said, he was the starter for a good portion of the season, did a really good job as the season went on. So it's a little surprising, but he's a little undersized. So we'll see where they end up putting him. But a little bit of breaking news.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of breaking news. Maybe not the happiest kind of news for, well, I guess people don't really care. They already beat him once. Baylor Shireman is returning to Creighton.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had another year.
Yes, he does. Which I think that, again, Creighton's going to be a top 5, top 10 team coming into next year. I get it with the J Skur thing, and we all hate Creighton, and it's great to be on board with that. Yeah, we got pictures of folks in Creighton gear that might say otherwise. But I always like to stand out and say I love the state of I love basketball. I love the state of Nebraska. I love the state of basketball rising in Nebraska. So I like a Creighton team, and I think it makes for more of an interesting story for Nebraska. Baylor Scheinman returning to Creighton, I think it's a good thing all around. And that team, obviously minus Nimhart, is going to be a contender. We'll see what they do in the transfer portal.
We'll see who else they add.
Yeah,
because I'm sure I know for a fact that they're not done, and they're going to add some pretty big names.
So it was it a great thing that Nebraska signed that big guy, the 6'9" guy. They say he can shoot threes good. I read that. Also.
Rink Mast.
Yeah,
that's
Rink
his
Mast.
name. The transfer out of Bradley. He's
won
6'9", 6'10", depending on where you look. But he's also, what is he, 6'9", 6'10", like 245. So he's actually got some heft to him. He doesn't shoot the three a lot, but he does shoot somewhere in the 30s percent-wise from three. They say he does most of his damage inside. Got a nice-looking hook shot, and they said one of, if not the best rebounder in the portal currently, now out of the portal.
Yeah.
So he averaged, 14 and 8 last year for Bradley, led the team. That's a big pickup for Nebraska.
Yeah, along with Breidenbach and Blaze Cada, I think you've got a pretty good group of guys there. Again, maybe don't expect him to be Derek Walker, but will be a good piece for that team next year. Blackshirt, I think you're about ready to go, so we'll let you go. But I would before break, I wanted to ask you about this because linebacker coach Rob Dvorak also spoke after practice today, and he said that the middle linebacker, which is traditionally the guys making the pre-snap calls and all that for the defense, won't be the case for Nebraska. He said it's going to be on all 11 guys on the field to make the calls, which will maximize communication and make sure everyone is on the same page. Again, it just depends on kind of how you read it. That's how they want to do their defense. Do you like the idea, or would you rather have a quarterback of the defense out there making the calls?
Well, the way we did it, we had the middle call it, and then we had the safety call it back. So, I think when you try to put too many people in charge of trying to make the plays, it confuses a lot of people because sometimes they're not seeing the same thing. That's that. No. I mean, but, if that's the way they want to do it, then they got to make sure that everybody's on the same page. But I would rather have my middle do it and probably another linebacker with him just in case he can't get it out quick enough. And I don't think 11 players need to worry about what's coming in that play. I just think it need to be two guys, really.
Just have two guys look to the sideline and relay the play to everybody else.
You have one guy for the DBs and one in the middle linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to look at the sideline. I knew what it was, but it wasn't my cue to call it. So I if we was getting it late, I was, hey, 11 robber. That's what we run, 11 robber. So, I just think one or two people need to really concentrate on it because you take too much out of the game when you got a big defensive lineman down on the ground trying to see what the play is. And
and then try to get back in his stance.
Yeah, try to get back. So I don't think that's gonna work.
All right, we will we'll jump through some more of these post practice press conference clips here from the coaches and players. We'll also talk a little bit of Nebraska basketball like we talked there at the end. We'd like to thank one of the greatest defensive players of all time at Nebraska, Terrell Farley, for making your ticket water cooler debut.
Thank you.
There he goes. All right.
COD time.
Yeah, there you go. Go get some experience there. All right, we'll take a quick break here on the Ticket Water Cooler, and we will be back right after this.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel. So do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Red flag warnings in effect this afternoon due to critical fire. It will be hot and windy. South winds gusting near 40 with a high of 88. Tonight, mainly clear with a low of 59. We'll see a high of 83 tomorrow. South winds again gusting over 35 with a chance of scattered thunderstorms developing by evening. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's with all the Nebraska lottery scratch tickets? We're going to a baseball game.
They're for the 7th inning scratch.
You mean the 7th inning stretch?
Hey, you can stretch if you want. I'm scratching.
Starting a new baseball tradition?
Sure. Why not add even more excitement to the game? Check out all these fun tickets, and I could win thousands between innings.
I suppose the next thing you'll do is change Take Me Out to the Ball Game to Take Me Out to a Nebraska lottery retailer.
Buy me some peanuts and scratch tickets.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler on a Thursday, and we got a little bit of Husker football to talk to. Some of the guys we're talking post-practice again as we're inching near toward the spring game here. What, in the 22nd? So we've got, 9 days? 9 days away?
Something like that.
Yeah, 8 days in Waco.
Oh, exciting.
Something like that. Anyways,
math is hard. I don't want to try.
We don't want to think about
I don't even want to try. It's next week.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right, deal with it.
Norton Noelle spoke after the practice today, and I thought he had some interesting quotes there. He said, kind of speaking on his suspension last year.
You want to read the whole thing?
Well, I think there was just a really good quote in there. I'll let you go ahead and read it. But
Do you want to read the whole thing?
It'll stand out. Go ahead.
I can read the whole thing.
Read it. Yeah.
Okay, so this comes from Norton Noelle, who, as you all know, or maybe if you don't know, was suspended all of last season for a positive drug test before the season started. So Norton Noelle, who came to Nebraska from Germany as an exchange student, went to Norris High School, went to Colorado State for his first year of college, and transferred back to Nebraska. Started about halfway through the season, his first year at Nebraska, and then again was suspended this last year. Norton Noelle said, and I quote, "The day I found out I wasn't allowed to play this past year was one of the hardest days of my life, and I've not only hurt this team and the fans, I hurt my family, and I can assure you I hated myself more than anyone else did. My parents have never been able to watch me play in person, and that broke me. This past year was hard for everyone on the team, for all the coaches that have come and gone, for all the people that have watched us, for everyone. This university has given me the opportunity to play at the highest level, and I messed that up. Now that I'm back, I promise you and everyone out there that I would rather die on the field than have to watch another minute from the sideline. I'm giving everything for N, and you deserve nothing less. I understand that some people will not like me or are disappointed for my mistake. But just know that I will never give up, and I will try my absolute best to represent the Nebraska pipeline, and that I owe this university nothing less than everything."
That is
That's a powerful quote.
statement. And he asked, by the way, that chapter be closed. As
Yeah.
far as in kind of moving on. So he gave some current updates as well. But it is good to kind of close that chapter with him here, and just saying he'd rather die on the field than watch another play from the sideline lets you know how much it hurt him to not be part of the team, to not be able to help last season, and how big of a addition he'll be back for Nebraska. I've said this a long time, now that it's 2 years ago, but I think other than Cam Jurgens, he was probably their best offensive lineman by the end of the 2021 season. So it'll be great to have him back. Where he will play, we don't exactly know. He said he's been playing everywhere on the offensive line. And so, they're probably still trying to figure out positions right there. They're a little bit thin on the offensive line. So everybody that is playing is getting a lot of reps. He said that's kind of been some hard work, but, it's been fun. He also likes the fact that they're running the ball more. He's a guy that if you follow him on his social media, you'll see he likes to run the damn ball.
Yep.
And
RTDB.
He's pretty excited about that.
He's a road grader. He's a road
absolutely.
grader. He's a guy that you can get behind and follow behind him if you want to pick up at least a couple of yards.
Yes.
That's a guy that you're if he's at either guard position, that's probably where they're going to run the ball if they need some yards.
Yeah. He also calls the offensive lineman a brotherhood and said that's different than when he got here. He said guys were just kind of there to be there. So the brotherhood kind of seeing things through, I don't have it right in front of me, seeing things through one eye or one set of eyes. I can't remember what he said, but that's what you need. I mean, we talk about all these skill positions and all the excitement there, but we know that Nebraska's been coming up short a little bit on the offensive line and at times on the defensive line the last couple of years, and really since the Big Ten switch. I mean, you just haven't had too many standout performers there. And so, you talk about kind of changing the guard here with Matt Rule. If they can get this offensive line going, then
the possibilities are endless.
Right. I mean, that's with any team.
Yeah,
Nebraska particularly.
I mean, you saw, and again, it's going to be a different offense and whatever, but you saw last year in very small spurts in certain instances when Nebraska's offensive line held up, how well the offense performed, how well Casey Thompson performed, how well the running backs performed. In some instances, you could tell, like, if this offensive line was average, slightly above average, this team would have had so many more wins last year. Just on that alone. So if you can get the most out of this offensive line with a new and improved offense, depending on some more weapons, a new quarterback, whatever goes on the offensive side of things, it all starts up front with those 5 guys. And if they're improved, then I don't want to say the sky's the limit, but at least 500 ball is the limit.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh yeah,
That's not the limit. At least 500 ball.
And so, I mean, that'll be something interesting to track. There's other guys, Elijah Judy among them, speaking today. I thought Norton's stuff was the most interesting, so we kind of covered it there. But so there's more stuff if you want to dive into it. You can search that out for post practice from Nebraska. I did want to talk a little bit about the NBA, what we saw last night. We are a pro NBA show.
Yeah, we are.
We like to talk some NBA. There was some games last night, but more interesting than that was the biggest matchup yesterday was Spencer Dinwiddie versus Kyle Kuzma.
I don't know what happened. What happened there? I haven't looked it up yet.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't looked it up yet. I know they were teammates with the Wizards.
Yeah, I don't know where it started, but one of them started talking and maybe said something disrespectful to the other one, and then it just it went into this like back and forth exchange, and it's really just a giant mid fight.
Just mid.
Yeah, because these guys, I mean, they're obviously if you're in the NBA, you're great. Don't get me wrong, but these are not the stars of their teams. They're pretty solid players. But Kyle Kuzma, I guess, among the exchanges sent out is that, Kyle Kuzma is one of the leaders in Washington now, but he's not in the playoffs, and Spencer is, but Spencer's team, now who he's with, the Nets, didn't earn it according to Kuzma. It was mostly on the back of KD and Kyrie Irving. Spencer wasn't even with that team to begin with, so I don't know how much offense he should take to it, but they're basically just trading barbs at each other about, who's better and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Who's really committed. Spencer went at Kyle for, how he kind of his outfits and in the glamour of the NBA off the court that he likes to bring about. And really just it's kind of interesting because they're both solid players. I think they're both probably, third or fourth best players. You would be pretty happy with them on your team. It's really weird to see them go at each other.
On it, like if I had to add either one of these players to the Knicks, I don't think I'd add either one of them. So
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with what I have right now. They're both they're okay.
Would you rather add Isaiah Roby to a 1 day deal?
Yes, I would. to a playoff deal. Yes, I would.
If we got a year and a day deal.
Much rather.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is ridiculous. I'm reading through it right now. I don't know where it started, but there's a point here where Spencer Dinwiddie says you're probably not even a third star really on a good team, because if you were, the Lakers probably would have kept you.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Kuzma just going off on Spencer Dinwiddie, a thread saying like he's much better than Dinwiddie, and saying that Dinwiddie was never a second option because he averaged 8, 4, and 4 as the second point guard for the Wizards. Thanking KD and Kyrie for 34 wins before the All-Star break, and that's why the Nets made the playoffs and all this. It's ridiculous, and really neither player needs to be talking like this. I guess I don't know why they're going at each other. Like, this is the most ridiculous beef of all time.
I guess it started because when the Wizards I was looking at back here, when the Wizards beat the Mavericks, Dinwiddie pointedly said for them it's a showcase. They're over there trying to get paid, not trying to play winning basketball. And from since then they Kuzma took exception to those words, and now they've gone off again on this mid fight where they're both pretty darn solid, starting level players in the league.
Yeah,
and they tried to like belittle each other, but still, like, neither of them are superstars or stars. They're just they're solid, and that's good, and that's great. I mean, Dinwiddie can be a huge help to it. He can hit like 3 threes in a row. Kuzma's very
Kuzma has taken a step up from his Lakers tenure.
Yeah, well, with Washington, they needed him to. The Wizards are kind of in a weird position because they have Porzingis and Kuzma, and they're like, yeah, we're buying in on these guys. And I don't know what the Wizard fan reaction is.
Are you?
It's like, well,
with Bradley Beal,
okay,
who never seems like he actually wants to be in Washington.
Yeah. Very strange, but in any case, I thought it was very entertaining. I will just have to say, we have to come out on a side. I'm very pro Spencer Dinwiddie, a big Spencer Dinwiddie fan. In fact, I think the Mavericks would have made the playoffs had they kept Spencer Dinwiddie and not traded for Kyrie Irving, who is awful for any team chemistry.
Wow. I don't disagree with you. I'm also pro Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm not anti Kyle Kuzma. I just,
Yeah.
whatever. Kyle.
Well, now I am because Spencer Dinwiddie's arguing with him, and I got to stand.
I don't really care for either player. Like, I don't.
Yeah, you're not.
You're both. They're both fine.
Yeah, I watched.
I've got 3-point guards. I don't need another.
Who's your 3-point guards?
Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel Quickly, and Miles McBride.
Oh, you're just talking about the Knicks.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I saw
We don't need
Spencer
any of them.
Dinwiddie play. Of course, he actually originally played at Colorado. A lot of people don't know. But I saw him play when I went to a Nets Magic game in Orlando, and he kind of went off. So I liked him since then.
There you go.
There you go.
That's your Spencer Dinwiddie story, and you're
Yes.
sticking to it.
That's right. Also, there were games played in the NBA last night too, and the 8 seeds are.
Yeah, the Raptors lost. The Bulls won. Now the Bulls have to play. Who do they have to play?
The Bulls will play the Heat, and I'm praying that the Heat win because the Bulls will get swept by the Bucks if they have to play the Bucks. And the Heat, I think, could actually make it a series, make it a little bit difficult for the Bucks to get out of that first round.
I hope the Heat win, so then they can beat the Bucks, and then the Knicks can beat the Heat in the second.
Well, there
round.
you go.
There you
You
go.
really have to cheer because the Bulls aren't. Congrats to them for getting a win. They are now one game under 500.
Like I said, if they win one more, they're at 500 and they're making the playoffs.
It was actually a historic play-in night because the Heat and Thunder were both the first 10 seeds to win. And it's been 5 years. I said that the other day, which is surprising. But first 10 seeds to win. And now, so the Thunder will play the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves, of course, are going to have Rudy Gobert back, so that's going to be interesting enough for that on Friday. And I like the play-in. What do you think about the play-in overall, especially this year?
I love the play-in.
It's kind of disrupting things. A team that's 3 games back is now up on the in the 7th seed, so it's kind of different than traditional, but kind of gets you that playoff feeling right away. Last night was do or die for those teams. The Raptors on their home court, or both teams, I suppose, on their home court. I like it. I like this. It kind of sets you up for some game 7s, that you might not otherwise get.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I love the play, and it's just it's more basketball, and I'm always fine with more basketball. One game play-in tournament is always great, and then you get the added benefit of playing another and then having another game where it's like, look, win or go home. You lost your first one, you got to do this, and this other team, you won. Maybe you're riding a hot streak, and maybe you can sneak your way into the playoffs. But it's fun. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's great, and I know the Thunder just like went off. Their 2 young stars went off. So the Oklahoma City Thunder are a fun team to watch.
They are. They're the second youngest team in the league. Of course, they did not play the whole year with their latest pick, Chet Holmgren. So that will be another big pick for them. And they have like 1,000 draft picks. So I was kind of thinking
all of the draft picks.
I was thinking the other day, if they select Bronny in a year, then they have enough ammunition to trade for LeBron if it needs to come down to that.
You ready for this core for the Thunder without Chet?
Yeah.
So Josh Giddey, this is all last night. 31 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists, 50% from the field. Gilgeous Alexander, 32 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 50% from the field. Lou Dort, who is a defensive pest and not much of a shooter, or at least not what he's known for. 27 points, 5 rebounds, 57% from the field, 50% from 3. 31, 32, 27 from your big 3, your young 3. And that's all without your number 1 overall pick, Chet Holmgren. And like Bach just said, they have all the picks.
Yes.
Every single pick in the NBA draft belongs to the Thunder.
So that will be fun to see how they kind of come about that. They still, Sam Presti and that GM, that kind of situation. I mean, they have to be lauded for at one point having KD, Westbrook, and Harden in on the same team. At the same time, you kind of think came out of that without a title.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened. People forget.
Yeah.
Those 3 played together.
Yes.
And didn't win. Should have won. Didn't win.
Yeah. And
well.
They also ultimately moved on from James Harden because they needed to keep Serge Ibaka. So
that's
maybe that wasn't the right decision.
Hey, Serge has a ring. Harden doesn't.
There you go. Yep.
Neither does Russell.
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka, the best of the big 3.
How many MVPs does he have?
That irrelevant. All right.
Okay, just double check.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a team award.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the crossover on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket.
What's with all the Nebraska lottery scratch tickets? We're going to a baseball game.
They're for the 7th inning scratch.
You mean the 7th inning stretch?
Hey, you can stretch if you want. I'm scratching.
Starting a baseball tradition?
Sure. Why not add even more excitement to the game? Check out all these fun tickets, and I could win thousands between innings.
I suppose the next thing you'll do is take me out to the ball game to take me out to a Nebraska lottery retailer.
Buy me some peanuts and scratch tickets.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hello, Talking Deer here. I want to take this time to thank the Nebraska Lottery. Since 1993, Nebraska Lottery proceeds, over $900 million, have gone to its beneficiaries, including the environment. And since I'm out here in the field every day, I see it firsthand, or first hoof, I guess.
Who are you talking to, dear?
Oh, I was just thanking the Nebraska Lottery and all the people who play for supporting the Nebraska environment.
That's nice, dear.
The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Brew Credit.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging to GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim tree shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett. Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They're looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and from Monday Night Raw, the OC Snoop Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. It is a day of rejoice in the DC area. Lots of fans are celebrating because it looks like Finder might not be owner of the team. Now, he might ultimately be fine what's going on because he is set to sell the Washington franchise for $6 billion. They've agreed in principle to sell the team to Josh Harris. This would set a new record for American sports franchises, eclipsing by nearly 30% the $4.5 billion paid by the Walton Penner Group for the Broncos last year. Of course, it's been years, and basically every year, Daniel Snyder is in the headlines for one reason or the other. But he's been a guy a lot of people don't necessarily like connected to the NFL, and it looks like he will be on his way out. And so, I mean, DP will be somebody that I'd like to get a kind of a take on this from. But it looks like no more Daniel Snyder in the NFL, but he's $6 billion richer.
Well, the NFL just got better.
Are we surprised that Jeff Bezos did not pay or become part of this?
Was he supposed to be?
There was rumored that he was, and that maybe he was interested. But then I think the news came out maybe yesterday that he was not going to make a bid.
I see.
Smart man. I mean, I would have rather had Jeff Bezos be an NFL owner. I think that'd be fun.
I agree.
No.
Why not?
Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are taking over everything.
Yeah. No, I don't need any more Jeff Bezos. Plus, he's what? Amazon's still playing some NFL games. He doesn't need to be a part owner.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
But that is the breaking news.
If I had as much money as Jeff Bezos, I probably would.
What would you buy? What organization?
Cubs in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
If you couldn't buy your favorite team.
Ooh.
Actually, no. Hold on. Here we go.
Well, like, so here's the deal.
No, hold on.
Would you? Bezos.
Would you? Here it is. Would you buy your favorite team, or would you buy your enemy?
And tank them
and ruin them.
No, the thing about baseball teams, and you guys know this, you're not in that to make money with baseball. I'm not sure, honestly, like with NFL teams, even if you make money.
Well,
yes, you do.
These guys that are sitting on their, if you sit on it for 10 years, you'll make a lot of money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot, and that's where the sell comes. I don't know what Daniel Snyder bought the Washington franchise for, but certainly it's not $6 billion.
Here's the question: would you rather go in on it with somebody and be like, you be 51 and somebody be 49%?
Yeah,
or
majority owners still.
Would you rather just have 100%?
Daniel Snyder purchased Washington in 1999 for $800 million.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice job, Dan.
Turned that around pretty well.
Just a little
He's
bit.
had to pay off a lot of people. So,
yeah, I don't know. All his legal fees are going to be.
So it's interesting though, because now, what's keeping him from releasing dirt on Roger Goodell?
Nothing.
Okay, I want to make sure we're all on the same page on that. Like, he could just release it, and there's no. I mean, I guess Roger Goodell could sue him, but like,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Dan Snyder.
That is an interesting thought.
Snyder's worth $4.9 billion as of November 2022.
Not anymore. He's worth a little bit more.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see how much do NFL owners make.
I guess obviously it'll vary from team to team, I suppose. I mean, like, because Jerry Jones is probably making a ton more than. I mean, like the Hunt family for Kansas City is probably making quite a bit more than like the Chicago.
In short, NFL owners, even with the worst teams, make millions of dollars a season, estimated at least $100 million.
Oh, gee whiz!
So you're making at least $100 million a season.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So
and honestly, an owner, like, you don't really have to do it. You have the team, and that's it.
You hire a good.
You hire
GM.
people to do everything else.
Yeah,
exactly. You get to go to games.
Yeah, you get a cool box.
Mm-hmm.
You get to hang out with NFL players.
You ultimately make it, if you want to make any decision, you make the decision.
Robert Kraft is best friends with Meek Mill. for whatever reason.
Robert
like-
Kraft's got a few different
Yeah.
best friends.
Yeah, that's well, not
That's
best
what I'm
friends.
saying, like, if you're Bezos there, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
What
the
time?
downside?
Maybe he doesn't like football.
You know what time? You don't have to do anything.
Maybe he doesn't like football. Maybe he doesn't want his name associated
but,
with
but
it.
here's the deal: is I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people don't necessarily like football or they're not diehard football fans.
Mhm.
They're in it for the return.
Yeah, but what if they
Right.
just they don't want to be associated with the NFL?
I'm saying though, like they see it as a business opportunity. They don't see it as, oh yeah, we're gonna get to go play or watch football.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got enough
we
issues.
all would be like, hell yeah, we're gonna go to
Every
every
day.
game on Sunday. We're gonna get to go to practice. We're gonna talk to all these people. Like obviously the money side's great, but we're not thinking about, oh yeah, I wonder what my my return on investment, my ROI is gonna be.
So
on
you,
this
but
one.
you would choose baseball if you were the owner of the Cubs. Would you go to every game?
Yes.
He would live in Wrigley. He would build.
Yeah.
He would
I
build
would-
his house inside of Wrigley.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
See, I
would go to
think
every
if it were up to me, I would choose the Celtics and the NBA. I don't know if I'd go to every game. That's a lot of games.
Oh, I was going to say I would
And
choose.
I have a lot
I
of
would
money
choose.
in this,
I would choose the Knicks,
situation.
and I would go to every game.
Yeah.
I would honestly, and then I would travel.
I would
every
buy
game, too.
I would buy a flat across from Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah. No, I'd build one on top of it.
I would
No,
just
so
stay
that's
there.
The thing is I would 100% go to, and I would fly to every other game. Every road
Well,
game.
of course.
Yeah.
100%. Don't have to worry about money at all.
Like you want to say, like I'd be a great owner. I'd be great. I wouldn't get in the way. I'd hire a great GM. Well, I'd hire a GM. I'd stay out of the way unless things got hairy, and I'd be like, hey, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I do wonder, like, what kind of would I be a hands-on type of owner where I'd want my. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you would be.
I would see. I wouldn't be hands on, but I'd be like, I want this person. If you can't get them, okay, but
you-
just try. But let's at least try, please.
You can't have the heart of a fan. Like you can't keep the legend and sign him on for a future contract for what
Yeah.
he's done, not what he's going to do.
Well, I mean, you're right. So that's where I like.
I'd run into trouble there.
I know baseball the
Carmelo
most.
would still be a Nick, wouldn't he?
I'd want him to. I would really want. Well, I would just be upset. Like this season, I'm just upset that he didn't play. So he definitely would have been a Nick.
I would love to hear. I wish I could just live in a fantasy world where I am the owner of something, of like a professional organization, so that
Play
I
MLB
could.
the show. You'll be
Well, yeah, but like so I could find out what also people say about me as an owner. How do the players like me as an owner?
You would care. You that would be.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
among your most interest.
because then I mean, and like
Well, like the thing is,
how
many?
good am I? How good would I be at signing free agents? How good?
Well,
would
you're
I
not
be-
doing that.
Oh well,
Your GM's
He's
doing that.
meddling. He's meddling.
I-
Yeah,
He's a meddling owner.
are you Jerry Jones?
I'm there.
Are you Jerry Jonesing it?
I think I'm
I
there.
would definitely be a
I'm not.
meddling owner
I
myself.
think, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I'm there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like I said, I would be like, hey, I really want this person. Please, if you can. If not, okay.
What if every like 14th time that you say that and they haven't gotten anybody, aren't you getting frustrated? Don't you
I
wanna
mean, I'm
say,
getting
"At this
frustrated,
point,
but as long as the team's doing well.
draft the guy I want.
No, if the team's doing well. I'm not. See, I don't know enough about that. If I'm an owner and I know this about myself, I don't know enough about this.
Okay, Crowbait says it perfectly. Nick wants to set up a suggestion box. That's perfect. Put it in the front office.
We've
and the
done that.
offices.
Yeah.
I know we
We've
have.
done that.
And we've also done complaint box.
Yep. Well, that was a suggestion box.
Then
The
it turned
complaint
into
box was a
complaint box.
suggestion box.
But no, now like that's what I would do is I would set it up in the front office and I'd say, all right, whoever my receptionist is, who do you want us to go get? We'll take it under advisement.
See, but
collaborative effort.
The thing is, like, how many owners of these teams do we not know the names of?
Most of them.
And that's like, I feel like that's how it should be for the most part. Like, they're just the anonymous rich people who own the team.
Who make money.
Like Jerry Jones. Why do we shouldn't know Jerry Jones's names, but we do because he's always out there. He's always saying things. He's always talking to the. Why is the owner talking to the media after a game? You don't have anything I need to hear unless you're firing the coach.
Yeah, that's
What's
definitely
going on?
should be.
I don't need to hear from you.
Yeah.
Daniel Snyder's in the news for all of the wrong things.
James Dolan.
James Dolan for all of the wrong. People didn't. The players didn't like him. That's why he was in the news.
Okay.
But like Shad Khan for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I never hear anything bad about him. He has a sweet mustache.
Well, the Jaguars are
The Jaguars
okay, I suppose.
were not great for the longest time, but he owns them and he's cool. At least I think he's cool. I don't know.
Here's what I would do as an owner. I would be involved in all the exciting activities. The draft, free agent signing. I would be involved in that. The rest of the stuff, GM, you can have it.
So you are James Dolan.
I guess.
You're the
Like
worst.
I want to be there on draft night.
But we would all
I'd be like, give me CJ Stroud, and then I give CJ Stroud. Hey CJ, this is Nick with the Kansas City Chiefs. Or
yeah,
Detroit
you want to
Lions.
make the calls. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
No.
Hey, I just hope you're ready to get on the next flight to Detroit because we're about to make you the number 1 selection in the draft.
Nope. I'm gonna let the head coach handle that.
100%.
I'll meet him. I'll meet
I'm
him there. I'll meet
and
him there.
I'm
Be like,
gonna
hey, I'm Rico. I'm the owner.
I'm Rico.
I'm Rico. That's what I go by. I'm Rico.
And then
I'm not. You're not gonna say my whole. Look. I'm.
I'm your pal.
First
Nick.
name basis.
Hey.
I'm Nick. I'm Nick.
Hey,
You know
I'm
me.
the one signing your paychecks. All right. I'm Rico.
Are you?
I'm the owner. Yeah.
I didn't know if the owner or like the GM had the signature on
No,
it.
it's the owner. It's his money. It's not the GM's money.
I suppose no way.
GM ain't giving nobody no money.
Big Bird
I'm
says,
paying the GM.
Big Bird says you also know the owners of really good franchises: Robert Kraft, Clark Hunt, Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clark Hunt. Their family makes TikToks. The Clark Hunt family makes
Do they?
TikToks.
Do they?
And it's just like this whole TikTok thing at Kansas
Is
City.
Jackson Mahomes
with Jackson
around with
Mahomes.
him, too?
Clark
Yeah.
Hunt looks like his name would be Clark.
Uh-huh.
Like he fits fits that name.
It looks like a Clark.
Yeah. 100%.
His kids do not look like him.
No.
Not at all.
Don't.
Oh, ball boy.
I said there could be a reason for that.
Don't.
Uh,
Nick's watching baseball over here.
The ball boy just took a tumble.
Did he? Oh, did he catch it? Did he? Yeah.
Oh, a diving grab by
if,
the ball
if
boy.
the Rays win today, it'll be the best, tied for the best start of all time, Major League Baseball. But usually when those teams make those runs, they don't win the World Series. When
No, they
all
do
the
not.
teams that win like 21 in a row never win the World Series.
They just need to sign the ball boy that just made a diving stop.
Nothing's getting
On the
past him.
mound.
Nothing's
On
getting
the
past
mound.
him.
He was in the bullpen on the mound, so it's a little bit of elevated surface. Just dove on top of the mound and got it.
Good on him.
Yeah, I still don't. They're playing the Red Sox. So
Look
I
at him.
hope they don't.
I
make
can't tell if
history.
this guy is 15 or 37.
Yes. The answer is yes.
All right, that'll
Like a
wrap it up
wannabe
for
mustache?
the Ticket Water Cooler. Coming up next here, the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket. Don't go anywhere.